This is Zac and Gus, the podcast.
Alright, guys, welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast. This week, rather appropriately, I'll be flipping some Cadbury Caramilk chocolate. Now, Zac, which side do you want to be? Do you want to be the bumpy side or the flat side of the Caramilk?
Now, I request that you don't flip this too hard or it's just going to shatter and there's not going to be any winner.
It's okay, Zac. I don't want to eat it anyway. Oh, oops, that's a bit of a spoiler for the upcoming segment. Never mind what I just said. All right, Zac, what side of the Caramilk do you want to be?
I want the flat side to land face down.
Okay. So by that, you mean it would land like this?
No, other way round.
Why didn't you say what the top side would be? That would be less confusing for my brain.
Oh, fine. The bumpy side up.
Zac wants the bumpy side to be up. Let's see. Woo! That landed on my keyboard. Zac, you wanted the bumpy side to be up. I can reveal the bumpy side was down. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast for this week. I'm sorry to assault chocolate right in front of you guys like that, but
I just wanted to add in a quick thing on, for anyone who's new and listening to the podcast, you might be super confused. Why the f*** are these guys flipping Caramilk at the start of the show?
You're probably thinking, why would a podcast start with these two guys flipping Caramilk chocolate? Why aren't they playing rock, paper, scissors, for instance?
Or if you're confused by that in joke too, we have a long time struggle of deciding who starts the podcast and how they start the podcast. So we play a game at the start of each podcast. When we're in person, it is usually rock, paper, scissors. However, we're online and that's harder to do. So at the moment, we're flipping things. It's been bottle caps for the first 2 weeks. It was a calculator last week and now it's Caramilk. Another thing that we do at the start of each show is we play a game, Angus.
And that game, Zac, is the Zac and Gus Show 5-cent phone drop inspired by a Carl and Jackie O segment called the 5K door drop. So let's lead right into that now. Zac, Gus's phone. Hello everyone, yes, that's right. This is the Zac and Gus podcast 5-cent phone drop. This is where me and Zac, I talked wrong. Zac and I,
Zac and Gus, the podcast hosts,
we're going to be giving back to the community by calling a random number. This is all based on the Carl and Jackie O segment where they go to a random person's house and give them $5,000, except we are going to a random person's phone number and giving them 5 cents.
Now, last week we played this and it really did not go in our favor. We finally had someone pick up the phone. However, the person who picked up the phone wasn't exactly very keen to be on the podcast, so much so that he wouldn't let us use his audio, so we had to recreate it.
So much so that he wouldn't even take the 5 cents. I mean, I understand not wanting to be on the podcast, but not taking the cash money? I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It just doesn't make sense, Gus, but this week, we're trying again, and we're going to type in a random number.
All right.
We're going to call them. I'm scared of what happened last time.
Same.
Now. Hello, welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast. We're playing our game, 5-cent phone drop. You have not won 5 cents because you did not pick up after the third ring. I am so sorry.
Fourth ring, make up your mind.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, you've actually made a good point. I did say
What?
fourth ring. Do you want 5 cents?
No.
Oh.
I'd like you to take a short walk off a long cliff.
That's disappointing. I mean, come on, it's free. We're just trying to give out some cash money to our listeners, or not our listeners, because you definitely don't listen to the
I'm
show.
not really drunk enough to deal with this shit.
Okay, bye guys. Yeah. I think it's
Well, how are
safe
there
to
two
say that
people who picked up the phone?
that was someone in the background. They were obviously on speakerphone.
Well, that was a lot more aggressive of a denial of the 5 cents than last week.
You think? I reckon this one was harsher.
Yeah, no. That's what I said. We just
Oh,
got
God.
referred
Oh.
to as little shits, Zach, and all we're trying to do...
I didn't hear that. Were we referred to as little shits?
Yes, that's the last thing they said. They said, bleep off, you little shits.
All I heard was I'm not drunk enough to deal with this shit.
Okay, maybe we were both... Maybe I was mishearing things. I don't know.
No. I didn't hear you at that point. I didn't hear it at that point.
Wait, so what did they say? Did they say that you had, like, misdecided or something? What did they...
So they said something along the lines of, I said 4 rings and then 3 rings. So they were like, you made a mistake. So I was like, do you want the 5 cents anyway? And they said, no, we don't.
So they picked that up, but they still didn't care enough to get the 5 cents. That's
To win 5
disappointing.
cents.
All right,
Okay, well, that was a very entertaining call. We've called them back, and they've definitely allowed for us to be on the podcast, and they even said they'd listen to it, so that was pretty kind of them.
absolute amazing sports. Not only... I mean, honestly, I wasn't hopeful at first. I thought we were going to have to act out another call, but they were drunk. They didn't give a bleep, and they were good sports about it, and they're probably going to listen to the show now. They literally looked us up while we were on that call. So, yeah, that was really good.
I'm actually quite thankful for them, and if they're listening to episode 19 when it comes out, you two, thank you so much for the way you guys acted. Back to the podcast. That was what an entertaining phone drop, Angus.
Absolutely. But, Zach, I hear you might have a question about the phone drop.
Now, we've discussed for a while between us whether we want to include our friends while playing phone drop. I've gone no because it's just unfair for regular listeners.
Unfair. See,
however-
the problem is... yeah, sure, you can say it's unfair, but also, Zach, not to demote the seriousness and the reason behind why we do this segment, but it is just 5 cents. And I feel like it would be more entertaining for our listeners to hear us give 5 cents to someone we know and have some, like, funny anecdotes from that than just have a random stranger tell us to f*** off every week.
Now, I want to put this to you, Angus. I've had a request from our mate Dane. Dane, the man of the opener. Dane speaks in the Zac and Gus.
Absolutely. Dane is an iconic part of this show, for sure.
He's the third, but he's really the third voice on the podcast.
Absolutely. How have we not gotten Dane on the show yet? Dane should be our next guest episode. What say you, Zach, that I go completely off topic here from what you were about to say and say, let's get Dane on the show for the next episode?
Next episode's a bit hard, but I definitely do support a Dane podcast.
Okay, but why is it hard, Zach? Why can't we do it?
Well, because actually we could do it, but that's aside from the point, Angus.
Okay, but are we doing
I
it or
have-
not? Is next episode Dane or not?
Not next episode, but an episode in the near future will definitely be Dane.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Dane wants to be on the phone drop. I have an idea. If Dane wins the phone drop, we both have to send him 5 cents each, which will effectively kill the phone drop segment, as we will have reached that 10 cent maximum to kill the phone drop segment. However, if we win, he has to send us 10 cents each. So he loses 20 cents from it.
Now, Zach, I like this idea,
Yes.
but I have a problem with it. So, obviously, Dane winning the phone drop would mean that he picks up the phone within 3 rings. Now, I say we go for that, but we have to call Dane from a number that he doesn't have in his phone.
Okay, we can try doing that.
I mean, I guess just calling from a private number. But if we call from a private number, he'll know it's us. I say we call from a random number that isn't a private number. So he's just like, oh, who's this random calling me? That's a bit concerning.
Okay, I'm happy to do that. So we can try and I can try and use a family member's phone. Are we cool with that?
That sounds cool to me.
Okay, well, that was my only question for the phone drop. I reckon we can head back into normal life.
All right, well, back into Gus reviewing foods, our favorite part of every podcast. Let's launch into this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to everyone's favorite segment on the Zac and Gus podcast. So, as you would know last week, I reviewed some Chupa Chups because Zach was like, review some Chupa Chups. And then, after listening to my immaculate review on said Chupa Chups, Zach decided that I had done such an amazing job that this shit deserves to be a weekly segment. So welcome to Gus Reviews Random Items of Food assigned by Zach Briffa, and this is the opener. Here we go.
Oh, yum!
Caramilk.
I like green bananas and pink ice cream. Wobbly jelly makes me scream. Mums and burgers are pretty cool, but I like
Caramilk.
best of all.
Caramilk. Caramilk.
Make me want to lick my
Lilts.
eat them for breakfast, lunch and tea.
It's Gus's Caramilk review, you see. Is it just me, or do these openers get worse with time? I mean, I guess that's what happens when you continue to use the same opener and just terribly cut out each word that is replaceable with the next word and then badly edit you saying the next word in. I'm just kidding. I put a lot of work into these segments, guys. Alright, now that we're here, welcome to Gus's Caramilk review. So, last week on the show we decided that this is a segment where each week Zach is going to assign me a new and exciting food to eat. Now, last week it was Chupa Chups, and this week it's Caramilk. I don't know how we're deciding these things, if it's going to be like trends in food or etc. If it is going to be about trends in food, I'm sure Zach will have a very exciting KFC item for me to try this week. That could be teasing something that's going to be announced later in the show. Could have already been announced depending on where we place this in the show, or Zach might not be bringing this KFC news to the show at all. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to open up this Caramilk packet right now. Did you hear that? Oh, can you smell it? No, smell-o-vision has not been invented yet, but this does smell fucking nice. I will say that. Oh my god, I was not expecting such an intense color. It's a very golden chocolate bar. Looks like it's straight out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, not even gonna lie. I'm gonna precursor this, just ruin it straight off the bat with saying I am biased. I'm very biased in this Caramilk reviewing game because I despise white chocolate. I can't lie. I do not enjoy the stuff at all. I think it's an abomination in the chocolate world. And I'm basing that probably unfairly entirely off Cadbury's Dream. And it's probably not fair to base the entirety of the white chocolate industry on one brand's white chocolate. But personally, I think Dream tastes like shit. And this is just Dream with some caramel, I'm going to assume. So, I'll try to be unbiased as possible in this review, but we're gonna give this a go right now. So I've just snapped off a square, more of a triangle actually, because as you would know, when you chop off a square of chocolate, it doesn't actually come off as a square. I'm putting that as 1 point against Caramilk already. Squares should chop off more easily. Alright, here we go. Yep. It's exactly what I predicted. The exact flavor of Cadbury Dream with a bit of caramello in there. And I've got to say, it is better than Dream. It is. It is definitely better than Dream. See, the problem is, though, the only reason I consider it to be better than Dream... That's a phone noise. I'm sorry about that. The only reason I consider this to be better than Cadbury's Dream is the fact that the caramel masks out the fact that it's Cadbury's Dream. So overall, I would just prefer straight up caramel. Yeah, I don't like white chocolate at all. Not a fan. Came into this on the wrong side of the fence. I'm not the kind of person who should be reviewing this. Or maybe I am. I don't know. But I have a terrible bias, and I will admit that. Yeah, I think this is shit. And I'm going to give it a... Still haven't really worked out a rating system for this show. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 dreams. Overall, very disappointing dream. Even more disappointing than the Ghislaine Maxwell dream where I fought that giant spider. That wasn't actually very disappointing at all. I fought a giant spider. It was pretty awesome, guys. But my point is, I did not enjoy this chocolate. Zach, please give me something better to try next week. Okay, bye, guys. See you next week.
I've got some bad news, Angus. That was f***ing horrible, and I think that is a basis to end the segment of you trying food.
No! Don't end it, Zach. Come on. You're the one who brought it. If this was bad, you have no one to blame but yourself.
No, I have you to blame because you had 5 minutes to create any amount of good content, and instead you just talked like you were bored out of your f***ing mind for 6 minutes, and then go, oh, it's content.
Is that how it came across?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Really?
I think I've offended you.
So there was no merit to it whatsoever.
It was funny for a bit, but I think the funniest part for me is the openers.
Clearly, that's the funniest part for everyone. All right, let's keep this thing going. Zach,
No.
what food? All right.
I don't even have any food for you to try.
You can't just call something off like this. Let's
Oh,
give it one
God.
more week. Let's give it one more week, and we throw it to an audience vote.
Okay, but I seriously do not have any ideas for what food to give you.
Well, that's your problem. You said last week that this was going to be a weekly segment, so you should have come prepared. So now,
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Zach.
Well,
what food do I have to eat this week?
I'll reference the fact that the KFC secret menu is back. That is my news. The KFC secret menu has a new item. It is the Double Down Mozzarella Zinger. However, it's only available in every state but Victoria because Victoria is still dealing with a chicken shortage. So when that comes back, Angus, I want you to try it.
So you're using the chicken shortage as an excuse to postpone this segment for as long as physically possible.
Well, I don't have a control over how long the chicken's gone, and personally, I want the chicken to be back as soon as possible.
You could give me something to try. You could give me something to try in the meantime, Zach.
I haven't even eaten any random foods in the past week. You can try an apple.
Look, I feel like Gus's Apple review would genuinely just kill this segment. Okay, I'll wait for the mozzarella zinger thing then. Okay. What is your update on the cap?
Okay, so Angus, last week we were sent RØDE merch by RØDE.
We were indeed, and this is because we took part in a competition with RØDE to win a RØDEcaster, and we did not win, so they took pity on us and sent us a cap.
Now, we both want the cap. We both have admitted the cap is pretty darn cool. However,
it is pretty cool.
There's one cap and two of us. So this week, I thought I'm going to go out of my way to make Gus want to make me have the hat. Angus, I bought you something. However, I need to know first, does your computer have a CD drive?
Wait, are you trying to buy me out?
Yes, I am trying to buy you out.
So you think that you've got something cool enough that I could put in my computer's CD drive, which I'm going to admit, Zach, is already taking points off for any potential coolness. You think this is going to be cooler?
Am I allowed to describe to you the object, to describe to the audience and show you the object?
I do. I have a CD drive, so yes, go ahead.
In trade for me to keep the RØDE Cap, I offer to you the PC CD-ROM version of Shrek 2 Paint and Create. That's right, this is a game where you can create hundreds and hundreds of your very own special calendars, posters, door hangers, masks, that's good for the COVID environment, bookmarks, flyers, and loads more. Flyers, even good for your group chat. Featuring all of your favorite...
Zach!
Yes?
Where'd you get this? And how did I not know until now? How dare you? How dare you wait until we are in competition to fucking pull this shit out? How long have you been keeping this card in your fucking deck, Zach? How did you keep this from me?
I found it this week, Angus.
Where? Where do you just find a Shrek 2 interactive CD-ROM? Where do you just randomly find that?
I found it in a fucking op shop.
An op shop? What op shop is open in COVID times, Zach? What? How did you find an op shop?
A stage 3 op shop, obviously. And Angus,
Still seems pretty irresponsible to be going to an op shop during these times,
do
Zach.
you want the Shrek
But
2?
thank you so much. Yes, I will take the CD-ROM. I will take the CD-ROM. I do not give a f*** about the hat. I will take the CD-ROM.
Okay, well, when this gets to you, I want a CD-ROM review.
You better send this via express post, Zach.
I'm not f***ing sending it via express post.
Oh, that was amazing. I was not expecting. As soon as you said you had something that could potentially make me not want the hat, I was like, ha ha.
I saw this, and I was, as
Oh
soon
my
as I
God.
saw it, I was like, I've got the hat in my bag. There's no way he's going to turn down Shrek 2 Paint and Create. Its tagline is 100% authentic ogre.
Bro. If I had been fighting for the hat and I had have seen that, I would have instantly decided that the hat and anything else in my life didn't matter. How could you see this and be like, oh, this is worth trading off for some dumb hat? I just don't understand that.
I don't have any use for Shrek 2 Paint and Create, but I know you do.
But this is Shrek. It's like Shrek and MS Paint combined, like the two best things in the universe combined. Alright, I'm gonna chill out because probably not our entire audience cares this much about how obsessed I am with Shrek. But oh my god, Zach.
It's definitely
let's go.
jizz-worthy, isn't it?
It really is. But yeah, let's go straight into a game. I haven't brought this game since like episode 8 or 9 or something, so it's been a while. This game's only ever been on the show once, and last time this game came to the show, Zach had to create the opener for me.
Oh, I know what game
because
this is.
I didn't make the opener on time. But this time, I definitely made the opener on time. So stay tuned for this. Trains, buses, trams, they all have stops. But can Zach guess how many stops they have? Well, let's find out. 'Cause this is the PTV line stop number guessing game.
You're saying this and you haven't even made the opener, so you have no clue if you've actually made an opener.
No, it could be a second. It could be you might have to make a second opener that shit talks the fact that I haven't made a second opener.
I hate this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PTV stop line number guessing game. This is a show game. This is a game specifically designed for Zach Briffa because he, as we all know, is a PTV nerd. For those who don't know, PTV stands for Public Transport Victoria. Zach is quite the nerd for the public transport in the state in which we live, even among these COVID times where we can't really travel that far. Zach still keeps all the knowledge in his head for how the public transport system operates. So, Zach, are you ready to play this game today?
Sorry, I was putting on my PTV hoodie, and yes, I am ready to play. I've got my PTV hoodie on. This is the best of luck I can get.
This game is going to consist of 5 rounds, and I have chosen these lines based on a whole lot of nothing.
Okay, perfect. We love that. Oh, don't burp, you disgusting fool. I have to cut all the burps out because they're disgusting to hear you.
You will have heard of all of these lines.
Oh, that's a start.
Some of them are in places relevant to me. Some of them are in places relevant to you. Some of them are in places relevant to neither of us. But I guarantee because Victoria ain't the biggest state in the world, you're gonna have heard of all these names.
Okay, let's go.
Round 1. The Route 1 bus from Colac to Eliminate.
Angus, I've never even heard of this line in my life.
But I used to live there, Zach. I used to live in Colac. Now, by the way, guys, this is a tiny little country town where I used to live. My family still lives there, and it's not a big place. It's not somewhere where you would expect anyone to know the number of stops in a bus route. But what I will tell you, Zach, is there's like a maximum of 4 bus lines in this entire town, and I've taken like 1 bus ever the entire time that I've been there.
Okay, I've got a question for you because I've never, ever even ridden this line. Is it a big line, a small line, or a medium-sized line?
Okay, Zach, just give me 1 second. I'm going to reevaluate the rules. You have a 10% boundary either side of the number of stops in the line. That's how this game works. So Zach has to guess the number of stops. I give him 10% either side. Now, Zach, I mean, just picture Colac. It's a country city, technically. I'll give it its technical title is a city, but you can't imagine somewhere of Colac's size, right, having many stops in any of its lines. So just use that information as you will when you guess how long the route is from Colac to Eliminate. Now, by the way, this route is a bit relevant to me in the fact that when I lived in Colac, I lived in Eliminate. So
you've already
this is like
said
from
that.
Colac, did I
Yes.
Did I say that just before?
Yes, you did just say that before.
Okay.
Let me fucking
So
go.
this is from Colac train station to Eliminate, the suburb of Colac where I used to live.
Okay,
All right.
I'm going to guess
Go for it, Zach.
14 stops.
Holy shit!
Did I get it?
You got it on the nose!
Yes!
You weren't even with the battery! That's the exact amount of stops, Zach. It almost makes me feel like you used all that extra time of me explaining
now
it
on,
to
I'm gonna
Google
hold-
the amount of stops.
I promise I didn't, but from now, can you see my phone?
Zach,
I'm going to put
your
both of my...
phone is irrelevant. You're recording this on a computer. That doesn't tell me anything.
Okay, both of
You
my
could've
hands
still
are
looked
up
it
here.
up on
Both
the-
of my hands are up here. From now on, you've got proof. I promise I didn't cheat. I'm disgusted
All right, well,
you
let's
thought
get
the
through this
PTV
fast
nerd
because
cheated.
it's really not that interesting.
Yes.
Round 2. I still don't believe you, though. You could have voice command on. Round
Then
2.
you would hear the voice command, you dog.
Route 21.
What
Ballarat Station to Buninyong. This is another regional bus route.
What the f*** is this?
And by regional bus, I don't mean road coach services.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, this is a local bus service in Ballarat.
This is not a... I guess it is a guessing game. I'm guessing because I've got no fucking way to know.
You're the PTV nerd, Zach. You should know.
No, there's no fucking way I should know this. 21 stops, Angus.
You just guessed the name of the route as its number of stops.
I didn't even think about that. But is there 21 stops, Angus?
No. The range was 32 to 40, and the answer was 36.
I thought was I meant to know this.
And I can't believe you just guessed the route number as the number of stops, Zach.
I had
mean, come
nothing
on.
else to go
Get
on.
a bit more original than that. All right, number 3, the Aubry train line. This is, I don't know, probably distance-wise, this would be the longest train line in Victoria.
I've
so
just
the
got a
Aubry
quick
train
question.
line-
You said that some of them would be relevant to me. This is the third one that's got no relevance to me.
The first one, which was the Colac one, I consider that relevant to you because we're friends and I used to live in Colac.
This is a
So I'm
fucking
deciding this
scam.
relevance on like sort of iffy terms. But anyway,
Oh, no way, mate.
the Aubry train line. I would say that this is one of the most significant train lines in Victoria in the fact that it literally is a public transport Victoria line that runs out of Victoria. This line hits New South Wales
Angus?
despite being run by Public Transport Victoria. Now, Zach, how many lines do you think are on the Aubry the Melbourne Southern Cross to Aubry train line?
I think there are 19 stops. Did I just fall out of the buffer zone?
You'd think that would be the sound that I would sort of make if you just landed outside. But no, you missed it by a long shot, Zach. You said 19 stops, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
It was 12 stops with a buffer zone of 11 to 13.
That's so dog.
It's a very long distance, Zach, from Southern Cross Station to Aubry Station. Literally goes from pretty much one border of the state to the other border of the state, with the only issue being that the stops have immense distance between them. Alright, round 4.
I don't like this game anymore.
You've got a 1 right so far, haven't you?
Yes, unfortunately. So I need to
You
get
got
this
the
one to
Colac.
win.
You got the Colac one right, and I was amazed. I thought you actually cared about me, and
Angus,
you still might, because
I would
none
like
of these...
to. I would like to protest your claim. I'm looking at my hoodie, and I can't tell which one's the Aubry line, but none of them have 12 stops.
That's because your hoodie only covers... Wait, does your hoodie only cover the metro area?
No, it covers the V lines, and all of them go over 12 stops. Did you do your proper research for this, or did you maybe accidentally choose an express line?
Fuck you, Zach. Just give me a moment.
Okay, this is going to take a quick break in the podcast right here.
Okay, so there's more stops and etc. and stuff. Okay, I get it, Zach. You're better than me.
So does that mean I get a point?
Yes.
Yes! Thank you very much. Don't you ever f***ing underestimate the PTV nerd.
I mean, I guess this is what the segment's all about. You uncovering my lack of knowledge on PTV and how terribly I planned for this segment and etc. But Zach, you don't always have to make me look terrible and like I'm not prepared for the show that we do every week, etc.
You can't just not do your research on a topic that I know
Alright,
so well.
so you're 2 for 3 so far. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good, Zach.
I want to question every other game we've ever played now.
I would not lie about fast food menu items, Zach.
Okay, but you may have lied about that run you went on in that restaurant you saw. Okay.
I can't believe you just...
Okay.
You're doing a throwback that most of our audience probably won't even remember, Zach. That's the early days of the show. Let's not get into that.
Okay,
The point
get
is,
into
round 4.
Yes.
Round 4, the Route 75 tram line.
Oh.
Etihad Stadium to Vermont South.
Ooh. And whose relevance does that have to anyone?
Longest tram line in Melbourne.
Oh,
Biggest
thank you.
city for trams in the world. Seems pretty relevant to me.
I'm going to guess 112. Sorry, hands are up here.
You guessing 112?
Yeah, I'm guessing 112. You
Is that
sound
what you're looking
excited.
at?
You sound excited.
I am excited, Zach, because the biggest tram line in Melbourne has 40 stops.
Oh, that's
Almost a
time.
third of what you just guessed. 112?
I was thinking,
112?
I'm so f***ing sorry.
Oh, God, Zach, you're making a mockery of yourself.
You can flip right off.
Especially after that big victory you just had.
Okay, round 5, the deciding round. I need this one.
This is for the win. Round 5. Now, Zach, I've stated for a few of these earlier ones, oh, this is something you'll be familiar with. Obviously as a meme, obviously as a joke, obviously you wouldn't be familiar with them. Zach, you will be familiar with this.
Okay, what is this?
And let's just say, listeners, if Zach doesn't get this right, he should be disappointed in himself. Because this is a line, this is probably a line that is one of the most familiar lines to Zach Briffer, and also has a very large margin of error. So, Zach, with round 5 coming underway, how many stops does Route 42 have in Geelong?
Oh. So this is a route that bypasses a lot of things that I use in Geelong. Can't explicitly name them, but it's pretty obvious now what it bypasses. Bleep. You. I've got no clue, and this is really important.
It really is. This is the one. Like, you could have been excused for not knowing any of the other ones, for sure. They were all random, but this one is very relevant to you.
The problem is I don't think I've ever caught a 42 past Hugh's house. Hugh from episode 8. So I don't know what
We
happens
did
after
record that show at his house.
Yes.
And I think we probably caught a 42.
We
to
probably
get there.
caught a 42 to get there, yes. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm going to go...
So you're saying you've never caught the entirety of this
I
route?
don't think so, and I'm going to guess 39 stops, Angus. Fingers crossed. I need this one. Oh, no.
Oh my God, Zach!
What's happened?
Zach, you lost!
No.
You lost! But you're gonna beat yourself up when you know how little you lost by.
Oh, you dog. How much did I lose by?
The margin of error. The answer on the number of stops was 44.
No.
Your margin of error was 40 to 48. You guessed 39. You were one outside of the boundary.
This is so painful. This is so
Oh
painful.
my God, Zach.
This is so painful. Oh,
To be
This
fair, you were
hurts.
close. You were close.
this hurts. Oh,
It should. Rightfully so. It
oh,
really
that
should.
hurts. Oh,
yeah.
That actually, I don't know how I've got the motivation to continue with the podcast from here on in.
Hey, at least you don't owe me a fast food meal.
That's a good point.
I didn't tell you this at the start, but you do owe me a Mikey with $20.
No, I
for it.
fucking don't.
I'm just kidding. I'll continue fair evading like
Okay.
usual.
Hey everyone, this is Zach from the Recording Live. Angus has just gone to the toilet, but I'm putting this in and I'm not going to include it in the edit that I send to Angus. But essentially, last time we played this game, he offered me a margin of error of 15. This time he's offered me a 15%. This time he's offered me a margin of error of 10%. That's dog. It's against the rules of the show, and I'm going to bring it up in a tribunal hearing for the show next week. I reckon I've won the PTV Line Stop number guessing game, but we'll find that out later on in the show, later on in the month. Talking about stealing money, Angus. A few weeks ago, we talked about the great Twitter Bitcoin hack. A few weeks ago, it came out that it was a 17-year-old high school graduate. He was charged as being the mastermind behind the Bitcoin scam that took the accounts of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Apple, and more.
That's so cool! Oh my God, I'm so proud of him!
He had a court hearing recently, and America, in the dumbass, idiotic way that they do things, did the hearing over Zoom with no password required, Angus.
Of course they did. Oh,
So if
what
a
happened?
teenager-
Oh my God, Zach, give me the D's. What the f*** happened?
So trolls decided to Zoom bomb the entire meeting. Now, I've never heard of the term Zoom bomb, but I guess it's a term. Spewing
like
disgusting
original.
noises, piping in distracting music from several different languages, cursing out the court, and then finally hijacking the stream with a Pornhub clip.
Yes! Woo!
Someone posted a screenshot of some dude's reaction on Twitter, and his reaction's pretty funny. And the dude replied going, "That is apparently my someone just interrupted our court proceeding with pornography face. Hopefully it's the last time I ever make it."
This kid won. Even if he gets fucking 20 to life, 30 to life, whatever, he won. He won.
He may have won, but his bail has been set at $725,000 US, over 6 times the $117,000
Yeah, but let's be real,
he's
Zach.
predicted to have made.
Let's be real. Some rich person in America is going to be like, this kid, and then they're going to pay it.
So before the judge could formally end the hearing, trolls got the last word, yelling, F something else, F you all, racial slurs, and then they left the call.
I love it. Oh my God. Firstly, it's funny as bleep that a 17-year-old hacked all of the biggest Twitter accounts in the world. And I mean, secondly, it's just funny as bleep that his court hearing got bleeped on because of all this COVID shit. I love it. I love everything about this.
It's such a 2020 thing to have happen that courts didn't think of password protecting a Zoom call.
We
And
have
trolls.
password protection on this podcast, Zach.
And even that is a better level than the court hearings in the States.
That's
Like, that's
so
just
fucked. That's so absolutely bleeped.
Ah.
Zach, a phrase you might hear me say fairly often is, the YEWZH.
Yes, I do, the YEWZH phrase you use a lot of the time.
Like, a lot of the time, you'll just say something to me and I'll just be like, the YEWZH. And it doesn't even necessarily make sense based on what you were saying. I'll just say it.
Yeah, so like, for instance, I'll ask Gus, what are we up to on the weekend? The YEWZH. Oh, Gus, what are you doing? The YEWZH. Oh, Gus, can you edit the podcast? The YEWZH. And it's like, well, that one doesn't make sense, mate.
Yeah, and it's sort of also like when you call me up and no matter what you say to start the conversation, I'm like, that's my name, don't wear it out.
And it is quite funny. I'll give you that. That one is funny as bleep.
So, Zach, have you got our planning document open right now?
I do have the planning document open right now.
I'm going to write something into it.
Okay. No, that's not how you type YEWZH.
Now, I would have agreed with you, Zach, up until very fucking recently. Now, for those who cannot see our planning document, aka anyone
Which is
who's
everyone.
listening, I have just written, the YEWZH. Now, that's not how you spell it, but
And that pronounces YEWZH somehow.
that pronounces YEWZH. The YEWZH. I found myself wanting to type this before. Well, I've found myself wanting to text this to people, but being like, usual is spelled USUAL. You can't just cut that off after US, or it's, the us does not make sense, does not work, does not flow.
Can I pipe in with a way I would spell it? I would go USHE. YEWZH.
Ugh. See, I realized my predicament after being like, oh, what would be just that part of the word usual, and it's US, and after that I was like, okay, this is never going to work. There's no reason. I'll just only say it in person. It's one of those things. But then I was watching a TV show on Netflix, and some people would call me psychotic for this, but I watch all my shows with subtitles on, no matter what.
I hate that of you. When we've watched things, you're like, I need the subtitles on, and it's like, but you don't read them.
Yeah, this is why I hate watching shows when I'm around any other people, because I either deal with the subtitles not being off and don't enjoy it at all, or demand that the subtitles be on and they don't enjoy it. Anyway, let's not get into
It's a bad fallout for us who have to watch the show with you. I must say that.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I was watching a show on Netflix with the subtitles on, as I would always have, because I'm not a psychopath. And the word YEWZH was said in the show. And I saw how they spelled it on screen, and I was like, no.
So did they spell it YEWZH?
That's how they spelled it. They spelled YEWZH, YEWZH. And at the time I was like, what the flip? But then I was like, well, obviously, no matter what is said in a show, there has to be able to be written subtitles for it. So I understand that they have to come up with a spelling. So then I looked up that spelling, and it's actually listed in online dictionaries as the shortened form of usual. And I'm not happy with that.
I hate that so much. That should not be the way you pronounce you. You spell use, sorry.
I mean, the thing is, that's why you would never write it in text, because it's making it way longer. Well, it's the same length in letters as the actual just word usual. And
yeah, it's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time, which is why it's something that you would only ever really say. But I just found it hilarious and ridiculous, especially the fact that it has the two last letters of the alphabet 2 letters that you usually never see in any words. Haha, usually. Anyway, I just thought it
Yeah,
was...
that's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and I think we need a petition for a change in the way it's spelt. Angus, to end this week, as you would know, as everyone would know, this week is episode 19, which means the next big milestone is upon us. Episode 20. What a wonder that we made it this far.
We are just about to celebrate episode 20. Did we even celebrate episode 10?
I don't think so. However,
No.
I think to celebrate episode 20, we need to pay a homage, I don't know how to say that word, to the fact that we've never put in any fucking effort to this show, Angus. Would you agree with that?
No.
Okay, fine.
I think that is really a good testament to the fact that we've lasted this long, though. I always know I can do this every week, Zach. Even when, as today, I was terrified as to if I had enough content. This show just sort of always works.
Okay, that's good. A good point. I was thinking, to match the laziness of this show, I think we should do an entire show from our beds.
I love this idea, Zach.
So I'll set up my computer and my mic next to my bed, and then if we can figure out a way to film it, I'll try and get myself a phone tripod, and we can film it. I think it'd be the best content.
The problem is, my computer is not a laptop. I'm going to have to go through so much effort to have my desktop next to my bed. It'll kind of take away from the laziness of just being in bed. But
you've got a 2-meter cord. That should be enough.
A 2-minute... Yeah, but I need my planning document and stuff. I need to be able to look at my computer.
Just print off the planning document, mate.
You think I own a printer, Zach?
This is a mess. Okay,
We'll work this out. The point is, Zach and I will be doing the show from our beds next week. It'll possibly...
There will be bed content, there will be bed quizzes, there will be bed facts. Next week is the bedisode.
I love it. We never delivered on a barbecue episode, but we will deliver on the bedisode. Alrighty, guys. This has been a good episode, and not going to be as good as next episode, because next episode is going to be episode 20, the bedisode. So we'll see you then, guys. That brings us to the end of another Zac and Gus episode.
You can like us on Facebook, Zac and Gus.
You can follow us on Instagram at Zac and Gus.
And you can contact the show anytime by emailing zacandgusshow@gmail.com.
Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next week.